All right, good morning. We're going to do a little Pilates today. As always, use good judgment about what works for you and your body. Make sure that if you have anything going on with your neck, that you watch the video first and then try to participate with it second so that you're not straining that neck and shoulder area. Okay? We're going to begin with the crown of the head reaching long towards the ceiling, tailbone reaching long towards the mat. We'll breathe in, and as we breathe out, we'll sink back into a flexed spine position. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift. In the interest of time, I'm going to move through this quickly. You can keep your hands behind your thighs to assist you in coming up and down, or you can reach your arms forward. You can also reach your arms forward on a long diagonal up. Do make sure you are not straining the neck and shoulders, keeping those upper traps relaxed away from your ears. We're going to hold the next one back. You may be here, here, or here. We're going to elevate one leg to a tabletop position. Use that exhale to do that. Exhale, lift. Okay, again, options. Now, I want you to hold one leg up, and if it's possible, bring the other leg to it. If that's not a possibility, toes are lightly resting on the floor. You've lifted your heels for challenge. You're scooped through the belly. No matter which position you've elected to use, you should feel well challenged here. Hold that position. Take a breath. Exhale, release. Slide over the legs. Round back. So I'm not trying to flatten my back. I'm curved through the spine. Get a really nice stretch through the whole back. And then I'm going to gaze towards my knees for as long as I can and roll back piece by piece, one vertebra at a time, until I come to a resting on my back position. Now in this position, it's important that your back is not pulling up away from the floor, and that's challenging because the biggest bones and muscles of the body are below the waist. So, pelvis and legs. If you need to, you can always soften the knees and release the spine slightly. The arms are going to reach back like you're making the Y in the YMCA dance. Again, watch the rib cage. Try not to pop off the floor. Maybe make sure you can see your arms in your peripheral line of sight. Take a breath. Take another one. On your exhale, roll yourself up. And if you can come just to here, that's lovely. And then unfold. Okay, this can be done again with straight legs. So that's a half roll up. I'm going to do the whole roll up, and I invite you to try, but if you feel like you have to fling yourself off the floor, stick with the half roll up for today. We're going to inhale at the top, exhale. Slowly rolling back, one piece at a time. Inhaling. Okay. All of these exercises can be repeated for more repetitions, but we're going to go ahead and call that the roll up, roll back for today. We'll come to the knees bent, feet flat position. Heels are in line with the sit bones. That's the center of your glutes, not the outsides of the hips. We're going to relax the shoulders open and try to feel a good connection in your core here. So your abs are engaged, but you're not pressing down into the floor. Now you can use that imprint if you need it, that slight tuck of the tailbone away from the mat, but I'm going to ask you, if you can, to stay nice and neutral with the rib cage and the hip bones forming a straight line here. And then we're going to unfold the hips and refold. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. If you'd like the challenge, allow the arms to float up to the ceiling as you lift and lower the hips. Be mindful that once you've seen what I'm doing, there's no need to keep your head turned to one side. It's actually pretty challenging for the neck, and I'd like you to stay as relaxed as possible. We're going to do one more. I'd like you to stay up on this one. Drawing a breath in, we're going to exhale and slowly curl down. Good. From there, exhale, lift one leg. Exhale, lift the other leg. As you do that, the opposite arm is going to float up. this for me one more time. And then when you come up, stay up. Okay, opposite arm to leg. They're going to reach away from your midline and back in. Allow the arm to widen as much as you need to for shoulder comfort. So having it right by your ear is sometimes challenging for the shoulder joint, especially if you've lived with your shoulders for a while. We're going to do one more. Now we're going to stay right there and hug that leg in, roll the head and shoulders up and extend the leg. The lower the leg is, the more demanding this might be. The higher the rib cage, the more demanding this might be. We're going to do single leg stretches, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. 8 and 7, counting sets, and 6 and 5 and 4, lift a little higher, and 3 and 2 and 1. You've got that second leg, fold the first, release the head. That exercise can be performed with the head on the mat, so if you need to do that, that's always available to you. There's that leg, it's reaching down, it's reaching up. The hand is going to come up, opposite hand. When the leg goes down, the arm comes out. So different variation if you want that one. Otherwise, we go back to the first example. So I'm throwing a lot at you in a short period of time because it takes a slight lifetime to upload a video, and I want to make sure I get as many options in and as thorough of a workout as I can in a short period. We're going to take the hands behind the head now, and that second leg comes up, but this time we rotate towards the incoming leg. I want you to notice that my elbows are comfortably wide. I'm not hugging the sides of my head, nor am I aggressively trying to get to the outside of my thigh. My elbow comes directly over my navel, and I'm looking just past the outside of the thigh, but my elbow's inside of the thigh. 4 and 3 and 2, release it all down. Slide the knees out over the hips. If you find your back straining, draw them in a little bit. If you need a challenge, go a little further out. Arms are going to open wide with the palms facing up towards the ceiling to release the shoulders down. We're going to rock the knees in the direction of the edge of the mat, and then you get to decide if you're going to extend the legs or just hold for your exhale. Inhale over, exhale, reach. Inhale over, exhale, reach. This exercise is called can-can. And you can do a middle variation with just the top leg stretching out. Good, we're going one more time, and you'll notice as you fatigue, your legs start to come in closer and closer. So always be mindful of that knee right over hip position. Again, if your back can tolerate it. Let's come into both knees hugging into the chest. If this bothers your knees, please put your hands right under your thighs. And from that position, we're just going to reach the arms back like you're making the Y in the YMCA dance. Watch the rib cage, okay? I'm going to have you come directly down. Typically, double leg stretch, arms circle down. So if you're familiar with that and you like that version, help yourself. But I find this one is a little friendlier to most people's shoulder joints. So we're going to do this one for today. We'll start to extend the legs, experimenting with how far out you can take them to find just the right amount of challenge for your abs this morning. They might go to full extension. Higher up is a little more doable. Lower down is a bit more challenging. The final piece is to add the head and shoulders if you wish. Rolling it all up, tapping the shoulders down. My eye focus is on my legs. I can go a little bigger if I want the challenge. My arms are right by my head. They're not back here, okay? Exhale and inhale. Exhale, last 2. Release. All right, from there, we're going to simply extend one leg out and lengthen the other leg up. Hold on to your thigh or your calf, whatever's available to you. Flex and point the toes. Flex and point the toes. 2 more. Flex and point. 1 more. Good, and relax that leg down. We're going to switch to the other side. Flex and point. Flex and point. 5 and 6, and 7, and 8. We're going to roll the head and shoulders up, and we're going to reach that bottom leg out. You could bring it as high up as you need, and we're going to hold, and we go flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. I know, I messed up. And then we go a little quicker. Scissors. 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Relax. All right. We're going to do one more exercise to bring us up off of the floor this morning. I'll ask you to take a breath in. Exhale, roll your chin towards your chest. Try not to go this way and then this way. Let your neck lengthen. Looking right towards those knees. Take your toes to the floor. Brings you up. Now you are here with your feet on the floor, and you can stay right there, and you can stretch one leg, or you can stretch both legs. If you're doing one, make sure to alternate. Okay? So I'm going to combine this with rolling back. We'll hold right here. We'll roll to the shoulders, roll back, stretch the legs. Roll to the shoulders, roll back, stretch the legs. If you're feeling spunky, add the arms. We're doing roll back teaser combo. One more. And if you got it in you, control it down. Bring your hands behind you. Lift your chest and shoulders. Soften your knees. I jokingly call this the mud flap stretch. I think you can figure out why. Good. And now we're just going to push all the way over onto our bellies for a quick little extension work. We'll have the hands resting alongside the edge of the mat. Nose is hovering just above the mat. Legs are reaching away from you with the tops of the feet on the floor. Glide those shoulders away from your ears. Take a breath. Let the ribs expand laterally. It's uncomfortable to let them push down into the mat. And then we'll exhale. Draw the belly flesh in. Lift up just enough to look at the end of your mat with your eyes, not your chin. Okay? Then lower down on your inhale. Exhale. I want you to do two things before you make it bigger. Make sure you're looking at the end of the mat with your eyes and not your chin. Make sure you're sliding your shoulders down and back as you lift. And then from there, you can grow it as big as you wish to full extension if you like. Now, I'm going to add one leg lifting each time I come down. Okay, notice my hip bone stays on the floor. I am not arching my back. I am lifting and extending my leg away from me. If you wanted to, you could add a reach. If you wanted to, you could add both legs. And the final piece of that puzzle is to make this the rocking movement that is known as swan dive. Usually people just laugh at me. Let's take it back into a child's pose. Okay, your arms can be extended, your elbows can be bent, your hands can rest beneath your forehead. Your thighs can be parallel or your knees somewhat turned out with your body resting in the center of the legs. Please find the position that is the most useful and restful to you. Rolling up nice and easy, we're going to come to a quadruped position. Slide the shoulders away from the ears. This should seem somewhat familiar because we did this on our back already. We're going to curl one foot back. Toes are back, and then you can see I have a tendency to hyperextend my elbows, so I'm going to kind of roll my shoulders back, press through all 10 fingers, and if you get wrist pain, inch your hands a wee bit forward, not so far forward that your shoulders jump into your ears. Okay? We're going to start by lifting and lowering that leg up and down. Slide the opposite hand forward. This might be enough of a challenge, but if you've got it, you're going to reach that arm up as well as the leg. 2 more times. 1 more time. Hold it right there. Pull it all in. reach it all out. Pull it all in. Reach it all out. You'll notice I am going from spinal flexion to spinal extension. Here's that last one. Bring it down. You could take a child's pose there if you want, but I'm going to move right into the second side. And believe it or not, there's just not enough room for me here. I'm just too long. I'm a long gal. And 2 more. Add that shift of the arm, possibly lifting it up, seeing how that works for you. Hold right there. We're going to pull it in, reach it out. Pull it in, reach it out. We'll do just 3 more here. 2 and 1. Good. Taking your child's pose position or rest position, whatever worked for you. Rolling up through the spine. Now in Pilates, we do get a lot of hamstring stretching and flexibility work, and I'd like you to take a moment to lunge and open up your hip flexors. If this bothers your knee, I'm going to invite you to fold your mat underneath your knee. Okay? You can be right here. Now, if you don't get a stretch here, you may need to lean in. Like so much of life, we have to lean into the discomfort. And I want you to make sure that it's just a little muscular discomfort, not pain. Okay? Stay right here if you're happy. Otherwise, elevate that same side arm. Okay? I'm going to ask you to go ahead and do the second side on your own, and I'm going to call that a morning. So thank you for joining me. I hope to see you soon, and I really miss all of my in-person classes with all of the wonderful people who make me feel like I know what I'm doing on a regular basis. Have a great day. Bye-bye.